Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, fuck everybody, just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication.
Hello, everybody. Number one, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Anybody? Because I'm on my daughter's laptop and I don't know what I'm doing on it. So I don't know how to send you the link because there, like that. Okay. There's the link. If you'd like to join me this morning, Enzo. Okay, you hear me. So these little things are working then. I sent you the link. Anybody like to join on to talk this morning for a little bit? I tried to do it outside. It's so beautiful, but I just couldn't get a signal. I mean, the minute I walked out the door, it just dropped, and I had to even connect to my phone hotspot to even talk to you guys this morning. It's just a little impromptu. Quickie, good morning. And good to see you, Sharon and Rod. I saw him this morning. I was trying to get it on here. Of course, I forgot all my passcodes. I'm such a mom sometimes, Had to wake up my daughter. What's the password? What's the password? But I do have, excuse me, my coffee this morning. I actually got my dad a new coffee machine, a Keurig, so because he just is tired, of making coffee every morning, and this is just so much easier for him. But yeah, it's really warm here. It's so weird how different it is from, even though it's 90 degrees here and 90 degrees in El Paso, it just seems hotter. I don't know why. It just seems hotter. But I'm dealing with it. I'm going to take the kids swimming this afternoon. And I got some errands to run after the show here. It's just a little quickie. Hello. I might do it on Friday morning as well. Maybe. I just can't be sure what I'm going to be doing. So I have to jump on when I can. So it looks like everything's working here. It kind of looks the same on a laptop a little bit. So it's nice. So what's everybody else doing this morning? Good morning. There's Bigfoot Okanagan. Leon is in the house. I don't know, Enzo, if you wanted to jump on or not. Let me check here. Okay, I got that on there. Hopefully it's okay. Man, I really wanted to be outside doing this, but couldn't do it. Couldn't make it work out there. You're cooking meatballs and tomato sauce with fries. That's an interesting with fries. I do that too sometimes, though, actually. Throw a bunch of fries in the oven. Sometimes I use the air fryer, but I have a small air fryer, so you can't do very much in it. But I know people who just cook and everything on there. Do everything. See if I can do this.
Meatballs and fries. I am in.
Meatballs and fries. It sounds good. Last night I made chicken and rice soup for my dad because I don't know if you guys saw my other video. I had cleaned out his freezer. So I had found 2 whole chickens in there, about ready to be garbage. So I defrosted them and I boiled those suckers up and then I made soup later. So
Nice.
I had a big pot of soup. It's 100 degrees outside, but we're eating chicken soup inside. So
Nikki's Freezer Rescue Show.
it was. There's a whole pork roast in the refrigerator right now that I got to figure out what I'm going to do with. Either I'm telling you, it's on the verge. I threw out 2 big, tall kitchen garbage bags full of meat.
Oh, stuff out of the freezer? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It is amazing how because I have like a big chest freezer and a stand-up freezer down in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
And especially the chest freezer, stuff goes in and it just gets buried and you forget about it.
Drops. Yeah, it drops down to the bottom. And that's what I did is I took everything out and washed everything out. And then I'm like, Dad, this is bad. Can't save this one. It doesn't even look like chicken anymore or beef or whatever. It's just this white mass of something in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I did save the 2 chickens and I saved that pork. Good. Probably do some kind of pulled pork, barbecue pulled pork, probably.
Yeah. Now I'm starving.
We haven't eaten yet, but all the kids are still asleep. They stayed up all night long, making all kinds of noises and playing games. And my dad and I got up and had a cup of coffee outside. But now he's in his room, probably getting ready for our day. But oh my God, yesterday, it was kind of like, okay, we had to run to Phoenix, which is an hour away from where we're at, to go pick up my nephew. And of course, the Escalade didn't turn over.
Uh-oh.
It just click, click, nothing. Click, click, nothing. And I was like, oh my God. My dad is like 120 pounds now. So it's hard for him to do stuff. And it was all the way parked. He can park it in his garage if he parks it all the way forward. And so we couldn't even get to the hood. It was right up against the shelving. And nothing was clicking, and we couldn't get it into neutral to roll it back. I couldn't.
What?
Because it's like this safety car. It's got all these different things. It's a smart car, really a smart truck. And we couldn't get it down into neutral, couldn't budget. I'm like, holy crap, we're going to have to call somebody because we needed the big vehicle because all of us were going down to Phoenix. We're going to pick up my nephew, go to lunch, and then come back up. And finally, we got somehow, I don't know if my dad's not heavy enough, if this is a thing, but it wouldn't engage. But I got it in it, and I just went, and I got it into neutral. I got back out, and I pushed the Escalade out the garage by myself while my dad was steering enough to where
you're using your spider powers. I noticed your shirt there.
Oh yeah, my spider. so that they matched up with my car. And because we had those little, those little jump kits that you carry around and you can jump your car.
I have one of those.
That was not working. Okay. That was the first thing we did. We both have one. I brought it with me on the trip in case I needed to do a tire or whatever. Did not turn over the truck. It's a big Escalade. And so that's why I had to push it all the way out and hook it to my car, and I jumped it and it did start. It did start.
Yeah.
We ended up getting down to Phoenix in it. And then it was fine. But everything inside was like weird. The XM radio was off. Whatever happened also hit the system. It knocked out the system inside. It was the weirdest thing. And it wasn't until we had gone to eat and we were like, okay, well, we might have to call roadside assistance to come jump us or something. But we went and no, it started up fine. Everything seemed fine. But we might have to go have that battery checked. So
yeah, that's a little weird. Had you had any like thunderstorms in the area, or do you think you may have left a light on or something like that?
see, we talked about that. He goes, maybe I left something on, because it had been 2 or 3 days since he had driven it. So maybe that is one of the things that happened. I don't know.
Yeah, I have one of those little battery pack things with the air compressor and all that stuff in it that I always keep charged all the time, just for those kind of things. But if your battery is dead, those little things won't bring it back. You need to do the direct link up between an active car.
Yeah, that's what we had to do. The problem was the way we were parked. He was in the garage straight. I wedged my little Equinox. I don't know how I got in and up sideways in there. Right now, if I back up, I'll hit his other truck. I'm going to have to finagle my way around that. I don't know. I haven't even attempted that yet. So, anyway, well, I'll have to go out there. I haven't turned it over today, so I don't know what the situation is out there. Anyway, we're all here.
That's always a nightmare adventure kind of a thing. When I took my big drive a few weeks ago to California, right after I crossed over into California, I happened to look down at my speed, how slow I was going in the work zone I was in. And I see the check, what did it say? Maintenance required light was on.
Oh,
I was like, what? I'm in the middle of nowhere, stuck in a traffic jam out in the desert. And then I started thinking, and I started looking. It's like, okay, I just went over like 22,000 miles. And so, yeah, this is one of those things when the mileage gets to a certain range, it's you need to take it to a shop for a tune-up kind of a thing. So but for a second, I was like, oh God, what am I gonna do?
I know, because you're always scared it's gonna happen right when you're out doing something important, or and we had told my nephew, we'll be there at this time, be ready, because we're just going to go in, grab your stuff, and then we're going to go have lunch. And nope, an hour and a half later, we finally get there. And he didn't care. He was playing his video games on the couch when we got there. So, but
that does make me wonder, like if I'm going to be doing a lot more travel, if I ever get my travel van dream fulfilled, probably would have to get something like AAA, or at least go through my insurance and see what kind of thing some kind of roadside assistance they offer. Because if I'm out in the middle of nowhere, it's like, I need a tow out of here.
Yeah, you do need that. And I used to have AAA, but then once we got our USAA, now that roadside is so good. I've used it like twice, and fast, and they stay on the phone with you if you want. And I've had them come change my tire. I can perfectly change a tire. I'll have you know, I can do it. But why? I pay for them to come out and take care of me. So
You're paid for a service, and they've got all the
right.
tools and training where they can zap it out faster than you probably could. So
Oh yeah, and he did. I was sitting there trying to be nice, and I was going to get out that little rod that you put in the back of your license plate to lower the tire, and I couldn't. It was stuck behind the seat, and I had been sitting there doing it for half an hour, waiting for this guy to come. And I got, God, I want to get this out before he gets here. And he came and goes, hey, you need, I'm here, blah, 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 to do your thing. He reached in the back of his truck and had this long, tool with like a drill. And he went,
right,
the whole thing lowered. And I'm like, well, shit. I didn't need to do any of this.
That's the beautiful thing about calling those guys is they have the proper tools because they do this all the time. Where
he had
your roadside assistance kit thing that comes with your vehicle is like the bare minimum thing that you could possibly use. It's like you're better off like just looking around on the side of the road for some bent up pieces of metal to kind of get it in there that would almost be just as good.
For sure. He had one of those industrial, jacks. Not the little bitty jack, Yep.
Yeah, those stupid things. You're trying to twist it like this, and it's all off center, and it's falling over, and you're having a mess, and it's hot, and all that. These guys come out. They've got the stuff that just like lifts it up immediately.
We have a guest. We have a guest. Hello, good morning, Leon. Uh-oh. No.
We can't we can't hear you, Leon.
Very sunny. Hooray.
There.
I had my mic off, my mic are muted. It's like it was plus last night it was 8 degrees. 32 degrees down to 8 degrees. Oh my God.
Wow.
Gosh, what is that? Because that's Celsius, right?
Yeah, so it's about 60. Yeah, we've been going. It's weird. It's been weird, but I thought I'd just jump on for a minute, just as a side note. If your battery runs dead, like it's doing what you're saying, click, click, click. Did your radio work after you got it going?
Mm-hmm. Well, no, it didn't work. It didn't work properly. It had all his settings were off and done. None of his presets were there. And it took so it wasn't on. The whole way there, we had to listen to some AM station all the way to Phoenix. And then we picked up my nephew and we decided to go to Pep Boys because we're going to have it checked. But it kept starting. He stopped it, started it, and it was fine. He goes, well, let's just go have lunch, and if we have to, we'll have it towed back here or whatever. But no, then when we came out of the restaurant, everything was back to normal. The radio was back, his XM radio was back, everything was back to normal.
Because the only reason why I brought it up was my battery I got my battery changed in my Jeep, and I got into the car. And my radio wouldn't turn on at all because a lot of the newer vehicles have anti-theft devices. So if you try to steal the radio, you have to have the code, which I don't have for my car. So I'm looking through all the manuals. Well, what's my code for my radio so I can reboot this thing? And I still haven't today. I have to take it in for them to go. It's probably going to cost me $300 probably to, go in and get me my correct code so I can turn my radio back on so I can connect my phone to it. So it was frustrating. And they didn't tell me that either. Oh, if you ever change a battery, make sure that you keep power on or something.
Yeah. It was weird. And the whole way down from Cottonwood to Phoenix, I'm trying to mess with the radio, and it's this newfangled thing. You barely touch anything and it takes you somewhere else. And I was like, so every bump he would hit, I'd hit something else. And I was like, oh my God. I know my kids were like, Mom, just leave it alone.
Yeah. I just also want to send a quick message to Cindy. I am okay. The other day on Jeff's show, I just woke up. I told them offline when we were on the backstage. I just woke up. My brain was kind of all over the place. So yeah, I am doing okay. Just my brain was all over the place when I do that show. So she sent me a concern message. Are you doing okay? Well, as much as we can be okay in this thing called life. It's sunny today, which is awesome. So yeah.
That was a
And
good
it's
show.
always paradise where Enzo is, of course.
I know. He's always there. They're eating
I'm at
breakfast.
the corner
I
of
didn't even eat breakfast.
Hijinks Beach, apparently, right here.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that on
Right
24/7?
in
Like, is
your
that live for that place behind you,
Yeah.
Enzo? Or?
Yep, this is a live shot from St. John's down in Virgin Islands, is where this is.
And they don't even know you're stalking them every day,
That's
24/7,
right.
watching their.
I was actually on with my friend Jess Rogie last week, and I had this up because Nikki loves this thing. A lot of
Totally.
people like it.
I like to look at
And
it. Here, I'll
she
take it
wasn't
off. There
keen
you go.
on it because there was like a person sitting right here, and she's like, I don't know, that poor lady. She doesn't even know that she's on camera right now. And it's like, all right, I'll change it to something else. And
I'm a people watcher, so I love to see people doing eating or walking in the airport or
yep.
whatever. I do. I always have been. It doesn't bother me at all to sit there and watch people.
One of my most
I wonder
favorite
if
things
that's
to
like-
do.
Because I watched so many videos from you guys in the States, and everyone's like, well, you can't film me. I'm in a public place, blah, blah, blah. I'm surprised no Karens have yet showed up in the restaurant saying, well, I don't want you to. I was watching a show. I don't even know what it was. I think it was a Bigfoot show, and I was on that show in the background.
Stop creeping around in the woods then. Let's
yeah. Somewhere nice and sunny on a
basically,
tropical island somewhere.
the general rule is if you're out in a public place and they've got like something like this up or something like that, that's fine. There's no legalities about it or anything like that. If you're out in public, sure. If you're on your private property and it starts to get sketchy when like if you're in your house, like in your garage doing something and someone's standing in the street filming you, that's a little different. That's where it gets kind of dicey depending on where you live. But yeah, if you're just out walking around outside, no.
Yeah. There's no thing of privacy when you're out in public. You know, you can do whatever.
Nikki, one thing you might want to know when you're using your daughter's laptop, I was going to text you saying, is somebody eating chips around you? Because it sounds every time you move, it sounds like this crinkling sound going on.
Oh, I bet you it's because the mic's down here.
There it is. Yeah, now you sound better, clearer too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's no little.
I was thinking, am I having a seizure or what's going on?
No, it's rubbing on my Spider-Man. That's why it's rubbing
It's
on
your
my
spider
Spider-Man.
sense going off.
Yeah. That's what it was. I didn't realize that. Yeah, so cool. I'm glad this worked. She's asleep, and I'm like, "What's your password?"
So why on the laptop again? Why are you on the laptop?
I'm at my dad's house.
Oh,
I'm at
right.
my dad's house. Yeah.
It's a better time for me because I got up and I thought, hey, it's 9:00. I thought the show was actually over and it was just starting. And I thought, great music, happy music, sunny day finally here. I thought this was great with the atmosphere. I want to have it starting the day off. So
it is. I just had to download a new promo, so I could drop the promo out there to let everybody know I was going to do something. I could have just gotten on, but then you would have had some shot of me going, some crazy face.
I have to admit, I was surprised to see my name in the title cards. Like, I don't know anything about this. Okay.
It was just the one I grabbed and I changed the number and then I went live. I thought if Enzo's around, he could jump on. If not, it's just...
I see there's pictures of me with money. I guess I'm going online. I guess. Okay.
You're not doing anything anyway. Did you run and put on that shirt just for me?
Yeah,
I did.
Totally.
I was about like 30 seconds away from because I'd finished my initial coffee, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go get shaved and get cleaned up. Maybe I'll do something today because it's been storming here all morning. But it's
wow.
just starting to clear up. So it's like, maybe I can just get some running around done today. Wednesday's normally my run around town, interact with actual people day. So,
yeah.
I like your Tropicanica shirt you got there every day. That's your stick almost, or your shtick.
it is. It's become my normal shtick, and it followed me into real life meetings too. If I go to a convention or somebody invites me to come and chat with somebody about something, that's part of the shtick. It's my uniform now, I guess. It's wearing some wacky costume thing. So,
and you've got Popeye.
I am
with the dazzlers on it. I have little diamonds or emeralds. His necklace has got emeralds around it.
Oh my goodness! Look at him.
Just make a lot of racket in the drive.
Wow.
Hey, Bat Mom.
You need these little things to anchor you in the misery of life that life could be. So, a T-shirt, a Spider-Man shirt, or what is it you have there, Nikki? Because I noticed that as soon as Enzo said that, I was actually
Spider-Man.
just observing it as Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Spider-Man.
You need these anchors, in your life. I used to get funny quotes given to me on T-shirts. And of course, I'm wearing them, and the people would be looking at me in the grocery store and stuff, and they'd be laughing, and I couldn't figure out why the hell they laughing at me. And then the dawn on me, they're reading my T-shirts. One of the T-shirts I have is the voices in my head want you to shut up, which is a good one because you don't have to say it; you can just have it on, and people will read it and laugh, and because it's like, oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Oh
it's funny how that little things like that, because there's been times where like on Fridays we'll do the morning show on Friday, and I'll have whatever Hawaiian shirt on, and it's like, I need to run to the store, and I'll just go with whatever I have on, whatever wacko shirt that I've got on. And I'm the kind of person, if I'm walking along, I kind of have a dumb smile on my face, kind of clueless and all that, walking around, and I get so many people that just get this smile back. Or even compliment, hey, I like your shirt, that kind of thing. It's like, I'm bringing the Hawaiian shirt back, baby. That's me, But
I might be saying to you, hey, I love the shirt, but what about your pants? You're not wearing any clothes.
Oh, it's okay. I'm a YouTuber. We never wear pants.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Totally makes sense.
Oh my!
You only see from here up, so
yeah. Legs don't really exist anymore.
That's it. Just kind of float around.
Aren't real. Yeah. So
you guys had a good conversation. What was that?
I was just saying, go ahead. I was just wondering how long are you staying with your dad at your dad's place there? So
I'm thinking we're gonna head back on Saturday, but if my daughter has Sunday off, we'll head back Sunday morning. We'll stay that one extra day, but I don't know. She doesn't get her schedule till tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday? Yeah, till tomorrow. So when she gets her schedule, we'll know if I have to head back on Saturday or Sunday. For sure. And
are they on break right now?
There's summer break. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. She has June and July off. Goes back August 1st. Which
August
will be the day I'm heading back from Washington on that day. So she'll have to go to her first day of school without her mama.
Oh no.
For the first time ever.
How do you feel about that? Are you okay with that?
I think she'll be fine.
Empty nest syndrome?
No, I'm not. I'm not okay with that. I'm really attached to my kids, and
I figured she'd be at an age where she'd be like, Mom, I don't want you hanging around all the time. My friends will see.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Can you drop me off outside of the parking lot?
Yes.
Yeah.
She
does. I want to take her right up.
You can't come any closer. Yeah.
Right up to the front door, but that's not what she wants. But now I do a carpool. So she gets picked up in the morning by one of my best friends there. and takes her daughter and kids. And then in the afternoon, I'm the pickup mom. I pick them up at the end of the day. So it works out for us.
Not me. I rode the bus. I was always on the bus.
You were the bus kid.
I had to walk to school 17 miles when I was a kid.
That's right. Uphill in the snow, both ways, fighting a bear with my loose leaf notebook.
Yeah.
You're a trapper keeper?
I had a trapper keeper when I was in high school. I love that thing.
You look like a trapper keeper. I had one too. It's okay.
Yeah. Nerd.
I had one too.
Wait a minute. Where's Homer to tell us about it? Yeah. Homer is always right.
Hilarious.
Oh, jeez. That's funny.
I like when
Sharon
you do that,
says
Enzo. That's hilarious, man. Just drop those things right at the right time. Oh, look at your money. Wow.
Oh. Yeah, I need to
So,
win some
what
money.
are you going to perform for us today, Enzo? Are you going to sing, do jokes? Are you a magician? What are you? An America's Got Talent there. And
I'm looking at my choices like, no, I can't play that one. This is a family show. Nope, can't do that one. That's not appropriate. Nope, can't do that one either.
Yeah.
Those are the late night shows.
Yeah, it's the after hours show is usually where these things come into play. But
For sure. For sure. But I think I'm going to take the kids swimming this afternoon. There's a little aquatic center down the street. Let them get their energy out. And
are you anywhere near that petroglyph national? I want to say forest, but it's not a forest. It's a national monument, I guess. It's somewhere. I think it's more in the northeast part of the state. I think.
Yeah, it's closer on I-40 out there, past Winslow somewhere. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's up in that area.
Yeah. That's about 3 hours away.
Oh, okay.
So not like close. But I was going to try to head to Sedona tomorrow, probably, because we want to go to the movies, and the closest movie house is in Sedona. So
I'll be right back.
Okay. So that'll be fun. I'll get to take a picture of the McDonald's with the turquoise M.
Oh,
have you seen that? No. It's one of the only McDonald's that's not a yellow M.
Oh, really? Is there a backstory to that?
Well, Sedona doesn't allow for displays or what do you call them? Neon signing or anything that doesn't go towards the theme of Sedona.
Really?
And since it's southwest, they allowed turquoise as the coloring for the M there in Sedona.
I don't know about the legal rights of that one there. They're infringing on McDonald's Corporation with forcing them to change the color.
Hey, nope. From what I hear, Sedona, the council said, yeah, you can put a McDonald's here, but you can't have it yellow M. If you want to be here, you have to change it. And that's what they agreed upon. You want to be here, you have to abide by us. Otherwise, you don't have to be here. So.
Good example of standing up against the corporate.
Right.
Secret, whatever.
I apologize for having you over there at a phone call. So.
That's okay. Yeah, no, go. That's fine. What was that, Leon?
I had a good 2 weeks off. I was just wondering because you weren't on your show. Talk about withdrawal. No one had any shows on. I think Joe had a show on, and then Jeff had a show on, which was a great show, I thought, too.
It was great, yeah.
I was thinking, Nikki's usually on. My body's going, what do we do? What am I supposed to do now?
Wow.
2 hours.
I feel special. Three people texted me, no show? I go, well, I told everybody I wasn't going to be here. That just plan on random.
And I think what put me in double shock was after your show was supposed to, is usually on Sunday, I was waiting for Steve's show to come up. I thought, well, Steve's coming up next. I'll be okay. I'll get my fix that way.
Yeah.
And he's off. I'm thinking, 4 hours.
This isn't what I'm used to. Stop.
I have a life. Oh my God. I can't do this.
It's amazing how when you get that pattern broken like that you're like, you don't know what to do. You freak out.
Yeah. Do you watch
Who
a
else
movie?
can I watch?
Yeah, totally.
There's got to
know
be
what to
somebody.
do.
Yeah. No, but I did. I almost jumped on the show with you guys on Monday night, but I was just so tired. I had a long day, and the signal here is really bad. So I just, watched from the bedroom.
I think it's good that you guys take time off these social media platforms to get your bearing back.
Right. For
there's
sure.
a life outside of Sasquatch or this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps you stay fresh too, I think. So
Yeah, I think so. Just like I told everybody, I go, you'll see me. I just don't know when you'll see me. It'll be on my schedule this time, not on normal, my normal.
yeah,
times.
I think we started on Monday after you weren't there on Sunday because we're already in withdrawals to have a nationwide instead of where's Waldo, where's Nikki. So we had pictures sent to us of you shopping. We had pictures sent to you of you boosting your
That's
car.
funny. That's hilarious. I'll start doing photos from now on until next week, and I'll just shoot them to you. And every show you're on, you can say, "Well, there was this shot.
Yeah.
She was seen. She was seen in a parking lot."
Yeah, really. Is it really?
It's got to be like really,
I don't know.
really bizarre stuff. Like you're like some space exhibit one day, and then the pictures of you with the tiger laying down, and then at
there's
the
an
ocean.
alien themed restaurant in Sedona, and they've got all kinds of stuff up. We should go there for lunch tomorrow, and then I'll take pictures.
Do one of setting yourself in the toilet. I mean, not actually. So we see that you're sitting.
I get it.
You're on the toilet, but you're not seeing anything that's you have to put blobs.
just holding up an empty paper roll. Like,
I really do.
I'm not in my house. I had to go for some groceries because we're used to having stuff, and my dad's pretty minimal these days.
Yeah.
So I needed to go fill the fridge and get paper plates and stuff because I'm tired of doing dishes already. My beautiful nails are gone. I had very long, beautiful nails before I left. When I left, now they're gone.
Yeah, is that why, or do they fall off?
No, because I've been deep cleaning, some things.
Ooh.
So my hands were in a lot of water and stuff, and I still have to go clean the oven in a little bit. So, I tried to turn the oven on to put some meat in there, and the whole house filled up with smoke. Oh.
That's a man place for you. Mine, if you turn the oven on, which I wish I could, but it's got so many man garbage in there over the 12 years I've never, and it's a self-cleaning oven. You turn it on once. Sorry. It sets my alarm, my smoke detector off every time.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
On the floor, are you okay, Leon? Yeah, it's just my fire alarm.
Yeah.
The worst ones are those ones that are the CO2 ones, or what are the carbon ones with the smoke detector actually attach them because they just go off. You're having toast and it sets it off.
I know. Well,
so sensitive.
When mine goes off, they call me because I'm part of that, Vivint system. So we're indicating a fire or smoke alarm or whatever, and I'm like, no, it's just me.
Yeah,
just me.
I'm just lighting my bong.
No.
It's okay. I'm part of the Fantastic Four. It's just my cousin. It's over for the Human Torch. Yeah,
I didn't want to clean the juices out of the oven. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll clean my oven. I swear.
I can't wait till this sun goes over here. Because I have a patio doors right here, and on top of it, I have an 8-foot window above it. So that's why if I didn't have this on here, you guys wouldn't be able to see me because my flash coming off my forehead would be like, godly, I turn it down. Holy shite.
Would be glare. Enzo, did you see the ones with men holding heads?
We were talking. Cindy and I were talking petroglyphs on the side there.
Oh,
I haven't seen the one with them holding heads. I have seen the ones where, especially the ones in Utah, which is the one she's talking about. It's been like on some of the Skinwalker or Skinwalker affiliated type shows, that Utah Basin area. There's a lot of petroglyphs that show people and animals, and then this like weird, like, all the wooey people are like, it's obviously a time-space portal. It's this big glowy thing, but it's not the sun, because they'll have like a representation for the sun and other, and the moon and things like that. And then there's always this like kind of wibbly wobbly glowy thing. Sometimes it's like, what is that? What is that supposed to represent? So.
And there's no archaeologist or anthropologist that could tell you what those symbols are supposed to represent according to the tradition, or what?
Well,
are we just listening to ancient alien astronauts theorists, whoever they are?
my hair doesn't go out enough for that, to be that one guy.
Oh yeah.
But aliens, Giorgio. But according to the locals there, of course, it's all like a lot of Native American, lore and legend and stuff like that. It's all oral tradition passed down over the centuries. They do refer to some of them as like, because depending on what's depicted in the actual pictogram itself, that for that area, and even actually, I think there's a spot down in Southwest Arizona where they have stories about the ant people and things like that, where that they would like live in a mountain, and sometimes they come from the sky, and they've got like really rough pictures of them. It kind of does sort of look like a gray alien. It's like, oh, wait a minute, what?
Man.
So it's a little creepy.
I don't know. Did you notice, Enzo, now that you talk about alien, remember that video we showed last Friday of the green thing? Yeah, and the Vegas thing. Well, now there's this CGI guy who's come out and said that if that's CGI, it's one of the best CGIs he's seen. I don't know if I hope I saved it. He said because of things that we hadn't talked about, and now I'm going to forget everything. It was just, he was talking about the movement and the arms and the back. And he pointed out issues with how humans have a back that either goes this way, curves this way,
right,
when it moves, rarely the other way, unless it's on purposely going back. Right. But this creature, when he zoomed in, had a back that was undulating like this. And he said, that's weird. He goes, you don't see that on CGI stuff. You would have to have like some special program. And he goes, I highly doubt this kid would know how to do something like that. And
it's the one with like the whole family. That's in Las Vegas, all right?
Yes, correct.
And then a few hours earlier, there was a meteor that came down, and
yes,
and they're trying to incorporate this 8-foot or 10-foot creature in the backyard or something like that. With that, I didn't see little.
Yeah, everybody's done something about it, but they're. Scientists are saying it was just a meteor or asteroid or something that, was burning up. But what about the impact? Why didn't they go to the impact? Because you hear it crash.
Well, I don't know about that, but usually stuff like that, because the only reason we know anything about like there was a meteor in the sky was caught on the one policeman's body cam,
Right.
which isn't the best resolution in the world. Let's be fair, nor sound. I never really noticed any kind of like impact kind of sound. If it was, it would have been followed by light, glowing up on the horizon and stuff like that. Usually, stuff like that, it burns up in the atmosphere and never actually hits the ground.
Right.
If it's big enough to where it hit the ground, everybody would have. There would have been no question. All of Las Vegas would have heard it. For something like that. So it's. I don't think that was. I think these were two very different things. Yes, there was. Does appear to be some kind of a meteor in the sky that was captured on the one policeman's body cam. A short time later is when we get the 911 call from the kids saying, "Hey, there's 9-foot creatures in my backyard and they're looking at us. I think they're aliens. They have big eyes and all this stuff." But now, like today, like the parents are all, especially the mom. The mom was really, really freaked out by the story. And mom and dad are like, "We don't want to talk to anybody. Please leave us alone. We just want to live our lives. We don't want to talk about it. We've said all we want to say, all that stuff." The kid that was on there had another video that he put out, which I think we showed a little bit of, where it's been making the rounds, where he basically makes a standardized statement on it. Not a lot of new info there. There was basically him and his friend were in the backyard working. They thought they heard something wrestling around. His friend said, "Is that somebody over there? What is that?" The one kid looked around and saw at least two tall figures of some type lurking around in the shadows, because I guess they have like a big backyard area that's kind of open, and there's construction equipment and stuff back there. There's like not a bulldozer, what was it? They have stuff back, equipment back there that one of these two things were lurking around. They get freaked out and they run inside. That's when they call the cops. They come out later when the cops are there. There was a circle, I'll say, on the ground, which I gotta be honest, kind of looked like somebody stood there with a broom and kind of spun in a circle and just made a circle in the dirt. To me, it's I don't think that was a spacecraft landing and taking off from there. And then it hit the local news, and then it blew up everywhere. Of course, this was the following, just a few days after that a Pentagon spokesman came out and had a big expose saying that, hey, we've had crash retrieval stuff for years, and we've got several ships, and we've got bodies and all that other stuff, which is cool story, bro. But we've heard all of these stories before. Until it's 2023. We're done with the stories. You got to start bringing up some evidence. You got to start showing us pictures, videos, telling us where this is at, the whole spiel. Because these stories that he was repeating back for this interview have been around for literally decades. The same old stories. It's like, yeah, okay. But anyways, back on topic. The kid in Vegas.
Sorry. The other thing, I was watching the video. I watched the video of the whistleblower, and if you guys want, check out the behavioral panel, because they spent 2 hours doing body language on him. And Steve from Curious Cryptid sent me when it first hit the thing. I actually had watched it already, and I said, well, he doesn't own any of this. This is all what he's heard, and that's what was apparent in his body language. And then the idea of the whole family in the backyard or whatever, talking about the experience that they had with the Sasquatch, with the UFO, which could have been a Sasquatch story, not because it was, or maybe, not saying it is at all, but when you are in a crisis situation with a group of people, there's a dynamic that after you've been in enough of those situations where you're dealing with a group of people that have had a crisis, there's a dynamic that goes on. And it's kind of like chickens if a fox comes into a hen house. There's a lot of energy. That was missing totally in that group of people, especially with all those group of people. And then the other thing too was this, their narration, a casual walking about the story instead of a hesitancy that should have appeared somewhere in all of that, amongst all of them, even if they were together as a group and using the the environment of the group of the support kind of thing, you're still going to have, I mean, watch horror shows. That's why the behavioralists use, when you're watching a horror show, there's this energy that should be there, even actors know that. But I just thought, I don't know, I've been to interesting things in Okotoks up in Alberta. One of my friends, I think I told this story a long time ago, but they used to have some ashes on their fire mantle. And of course, I thought it must be someone's death or something. That's kind of a weird thing, because it was in a jar, like a pickle jar, a big 1 liter pickle jar. And I thought, who would put your dead relative in a pickle jar on top of your fire thing? Well, they're farmers in southern Alberta, and I don't know. Yeah. And so I asked the family about it. They said, well, no, that is soil from a UFO landing out by Okotoks. And I thought, well, that's interesting. And then they were nice enough to drive me all the way down to Okotoks, which is like a 2.5 hour drive away, to the actual spot of where this craft had come down. And nothing had grown where the pod, like say if there was 3 pods outside, so the thing comes down and there's 3 pods and there's a centerpiece in those areas since the event. And the soil was burned to ashes this deep. And it was really quite, I mean, that's something at least tactile that would help a story get a little more growth to it, And but
that's not the first time I've heard that very thing.
What's that?
And that's not the first time I've heard that very thing of landing sites, and years later, nothing grows on those spots, and it's still like that probably to this day.
Yeah. So, I mean, now with the resources I have too, I mean, that was so long ago. That was like over 20 years ago, well, 30 years ago, probably. But it'd be neat to go back down there and just do some soil sampling testing. But I don't know. I like you said, it's even the behavioral panel when they're doing that thing is, man, you're a whistleblower. Blow the whistle now. You have protection. Tell us everything that you have. But everything he told us was what we already knew anyways, right? He's just trying to. There was something weird about his personality too. I think he's on the spectrum, the guy, because of the way his expressions were and stuff. He was like somebody who was trained in.
He had a lot of head gesture. He's like talking with his head all the time, like a bobblehead.
And the way he was talking with his mouth, it was like he was. Now I know quite a few people who have Asperger's, and the problem with Asperger's is you don't have the capacity, if you don't have Asperger's, to really know what you should respond to. So when you're watching a person, you can't read their facial expressions that most of us would read. You don't understand emotions the same way. And so sometimes what people will do is go into training so they fit better into culture, so they can understand these visual clues. And that's what it seemed to be to me, was somebody that was on the spectrum he was overemphasizing normal patterns that people would do, like he's trying to belong. There was just something there that was off. And plus, why not tell us? You got the platform, you could blow it right out of the water. I gotta be careful I don't, He didn't sign a non-disclosure agreement. He's covered by the law. He's now public.
Well,
tell us.
And that's true, but technically, I think the law, because I'm going to go on both sides of this, is he needs to come forward with more for like us that have heard some of these stories before. Last week I watched kind of a normie channel where they talk about like movies and TV and stuff like that. But it was such a big topic, they brought it up as their thing to talk about. And they showed clips from the interview and stuff like that. And I was in the chat just laughing because all these regular people that don't have any exposure to that kind of stuff on a regular basis were like, yeah, I do not believe this guy. I think I just don't feel like he's being honest. Personally, my personal opinion about the guy is I kind of feel like it wasn't even like he was duped, like people were intentionally trying to trick him. I think there are people out there, because I was just at Contact in the Desert. There are some true believers, regardless of any evidence or lack of evidence, true believers on certain things. And I'm sure you see the same thing in the Bigfoot side, that no matter what, this is now their truth kind of a thing. And they tell these tales. Oh, there's a story about this place has 5, saucers, and this place has the bodies, and this place has a crash recovery team that goes out all over the world. All of these old stories that have been bouncing around for decades. I mean, hell, everything that they said was like every other week on Art Bell. Basically.
I totally. Everything he said was everything that you've heard on YouTube for the last 10 years. So there was nothing really new about the whole thing.
I think somebody told him all of these tales that he had never heard before. And he's like, oh my gosh, these are people that I know and trust that, are at higher levels in the government than him, or would be in a position where they might be the one that would know. Now, supposedly he did see some documents. None of them had pictures or diagrams or anything like that. It was just, word salad describing some of these things. We don't know what those sources are. We don't know if they're classified, all that stuff. So he can't, even if he did see a lot of stuff, they would probably be at a classified site or a classified environment or something like that. Or where probably, if this is something that's actually happening, it's not the government running it. They kind of sluice it off to like Boeing or Raytheon or any of these big aviation type companies for them to do the research, because if they're doing it and they're handling all the security and all of that stuff, nobody can fill out a FOIA report for the government to find out what they know, because they don't know anything, because it belongs to those guys, kind of a thing. So,
well, the other thing too is if you're a whistleblower, from my understanding, if you're a whistleblower, you're protected, but your sources aren't protected.
Right.
So if your sources have told you something, and then you can't say what they have said because it might be still classified. Doesn't mean that you get to say the classified stuff. But I think, again, it's just one of these things that, man, it would be fabulous to see what would happen to humanity. I better be careful here because I don't want the Independence Day scenario to happen. But imagine if they showed us a dead body. It's not going to be the same as the Sasquatch. Oh, my, they're real. Yeah, that's great. Show us a dead alien body from another, wherever it's from. That would really freak us out. Like, we'd be like, oh, we're not alone, period. No more debate about this,
What if it was a body in a freezer, though?
Well, I think the nice thing is at
silly,
least
of course,
the scientists will be right in it like a dirty shirt. Thaw the thing out. Let's take a look at it. The public would know about it. They wouldn't be able to, not some guy that is looking to make a promotion and travel to Japan to show a costume in a freezer. If it's something there. And the other thing I had a kind of curious about is, why use that news dispensary channel? Yeah. Now, those were interesting videos, online, like those ones that came out back in like the 2000s. Yeah, where they had the videos of the aliens.
That's Skinny Bob. Yep.
Yeah.
That's because that's what this guy, if he wanted to have people believe him, he'd be like, and this is what they showed me. And, except an actual like full color, high resolution, no doubt about it. That's actually something living, breathing, running around kind of a thing.
So did you guys ever, like, do you remember those videos that go along with that picture, but they're videos, like they're like,
yes.
You guys, have you heard any, and they look really decent as far as when you look at them, because, of course, they're black and white or for the 50s. What's the history on those? Do you guys know, or have you ever heard of them?
I do. This is everyone in the UFO community refers to this guy as Skinny Bob. And Skinny Bob. And there was a video that came out several years ago that just got dumped on YouTube on this anonymous new kind of a channel that was never pushed by anybody. There were never advertisement was turned off. It was just somebody dumped these videos there. It was like 4 or 5 smaller videos.
Yeah.
Only one of them really shows Skinny Bob part. There's like a part where they show it's believed to be a Russian film. It's all in black and white, probably from like the 60s. There are parts of it though that I've looked at, not the one that shows this guy, but there's other videos where they show like the outside of a hangar and it's a view of a field from a plane and stuff like that. Some of those have some fakery in it, where they've got simulated, you watch those old newsreels and stuff like that, where you'll sort of see the side, little dust and stuff like that from the film, that's things like that, where you can see patterns that repeat on there. It's like, that's not real. That's artificial. You can actually sit there with the stopwatch. Okay, in 4.3 seconds, this little spot right here is going to pop up again. Yeah, there it is. That's computer magic. But
doing such good research, and so you're making it tough for the rest of us to keep the lie going.
Yeah,
you're part of the underground.
There was actually a guy last year that another UFO researcher that I think it started at 10,000. Then I think he upped it to 20,000, where he wanted to know who made this, fake or not. Who shot this video of this guy? Because there's videos of this guy, and if you find the video of Skinny Bob online, the eyes are blinking, he's moving around, his face is moving. You can. If it's fake, which a lot of people kind of lean towards this, it's really good. It's very high quality special effects that they did this with. And that's part of the reason is there are some people like from Hollywood. It's like, dude, we like your work. We want you to come and work for us. That kind of thing, fake or not, we want to know more. But this guy was offering $15,000 or $20,000, whatever it was, just to put it to rest, real or fake. Plus, he wanted to hire them for other projects that he had going on, because that's really good work. And there's like another video where, because there's a lot of because this is what's implied, because there's no audio in any of these videos. It's all just silent, black and white kind of film. And there's this particular section where you get to see the close-ups on Skinny Bob. It's like they're measuring. You see they've got like a measuring thing, ruler kind of a thing against the wall, and they're measuring his height. And it's like he's undergoing some kind of examination kind of a thing, is what you're led to believe. And then there's another one where it is out of focus, but you see at least 3 of these guys running around like they're going down a hallway, and somebody just like kind of flipped the camera on as they were walking by, kind of a thing, is what you're led to believe. Is it real? The other pieces of the other videos, there's certainly some parts in there that I don't think are real at all. They are staged. The one where specifically just, Skinny Bob sitting there, it's intriguing. I can't definitively say, that's fake. There's nothing glaring that, at least, that pops out where it's like, you can see the string or anything like that.
His neck too,
it's pretty intriguing stuff.
Is something in that video too, and remember, that's like back in early internet world, and if the hoaxers today could pull off the same thing this guy's doing like 20 years ago, because I think it came out, I know for sure over 12 years ago when I first saw the video.
If you look at this still frame, you can see how long the arms are compared to like where the hips are and all that stuff, and how far down his hands are and all the fingers, because you see him kind of moving around. It's not a lot. It's not like he's playing basketball or anything like that. He's just kind of mostly just standing there and blinking, and you might see general movements like you would expect if somebody said, hey, just go stand over there and don't move. You're going to have little movements here and there. You're not a statue.
But he also has to stand by 3 fingers or 3 digits on his hands, I think, if you show that picture closer again. Because that's the other thing. They seem to have, does he have 3 hands? Oh, you can't quite see because they're behind the other one.
Yeah, he's got to turn.
They always have them with 3 digits.
It depends. Like the Roswell, there's like mixed stuff from like the Roswell stuff where supposedly there was like control panels that had 6-fingered things in it. You hear that one a lot. I don't recall how many fingers. I don't think there was any definitive like open hand kind of a shot with Skinny Bob off the top of my head. It's been a while since I've actually seen the video, but. And of course, the story of where this came from, I stopped off at Meteor Crater. Oh, look. We talked about that before.
Sky out. Oh.
Forgot I muted myself.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a mug with that same thing. Yeah, this is the old Roswell.
Cool.
Well, what's that thing that's been online now? They've had three episodes of it. I think it's like the UAP task force report in Congress. They're like an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours long kind of thing. There was one that was posted and then it was pulled the other day. It was 11 hours and something. And then the next day when I went to watch the rest of the video, it was pulled offline. Conspiracy.
I don't know about that.
Oh, yeah, but that's why how quick it was. And I thought, ooh, this is going to totally be a building block for conspiracy thinking. But I watched all the 3 congressional meetings this week, actually, just to get myself versed up on everything.
Actually, you're not too far away from where that was, right?
Yeah, I'm about,
Travis Walton?
2-3 hours too. Depends. There's not a straight shot. You have to like go up this way and go back around, and that that's the whole issue with that. But yeah, I've been camping there.
That's the Travis Walton story where he's with that group right there clearing some trees up in the woods, and as they're coming back, they see a flying saucer hovering at the treetop level, and they stop because they're stunned because this giant craft is just hanging in the air. Travis Walton jumps out of the truck and gets a little closer and basically gets zapped by something. Whether it was a ray or a lightning bolt or whatever. And his friends, rightfully so, freak out and they take off down the mountain. They left. They left him. They left him to die with the aliens. And of course, after they kind of collect themselves, they went back to that area and he was gone. The UFO was gone. There was no sign of him. There was no body laying around. They went and told the sheriff. They did a big extensive search of the area. Couldn't find him. A few days later, he turns up. Doesn't know exactly where he's been, what's been going on. And, originally the sheriff thought that his friends had killed him. Because there were a couple of those guys that didn't exactly get along, but it wasn't the point where they'd want to kill each other. But they thought they had concocted the whole "we saw a flying saucer and it killed our friend" story because they had actually killed him and just dumped him out in the woods. But yeah, there's a movie about it called Fire in the Sky, which takes some liberties. Travis Walton is one of the few people I've heard of that Fire in the Sky. That's Travis Walton there on the left, and he's actually one of the few stories I've heard, like abduction type stories, because I guess the whole story is he probably got too close to the craft, and there was like a discharge, like a static discharge kind of thing, and it nearly killed him. They brought him on the ship and healed him. And when he comes to on the ship, there's like kind of like grays around it. And of course, he doesn't know what's going on. He remembers getting hurt and having a lot of pain and waking up with these little weird guys hanging around. He jumps up off of the table and punches one of them. And he just clocks him. They, of course, are like, woohoo, and they back out of the room. Then a taller alien comes in later and says, hey, relax. You got hurt. We just patched you up. We just want to make sure you're okay. We're going to send you back
now. Wow. So, I was going to go back here. Okay,
I didn't know this
so
was going to
right
be a
now,
UFO show.
I didn't either, but that's how everybody's talking about is this stuff.
Yeah.
If you see the red arrow, I'm exactly to the left going west. You'll see Camp Verde, and then the next one is Cottonwood. You see Cottonwood there?
Uh-huh.
That's where I'm at right now.
Oh, you're really close to Sedona.
Yeah, it's you can see the red rocks from my dad's backyard. So,
And in the upper right, the little green patch in the upper right of that little map picture is that petroglyph national park I was talking about. So
yeah.
I'd like to
So
stop
you have
off
to
there,
go.
and somewhere along between Flagstaff and there, that's also where the meteor crater is. But I stopped
Yes.
off and checked out.
It surely is.
Actually, I see it in the red there, just above where the red arrow is.
Is that
Yep.
the one
But,
that collapsed? Or no? What was the one with that had kind of a space? It was in a couple of James Bond's movies, I think. Like in a meteor bowl, and they had a astral camera or something in the middle of it, and it collapsed just a couple of years ago.
Oh, that was the Arecibo telescope down in
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, yes.
Yeah. I
That's
almost
why I
went
need
there.
people.
I
need
passed by it when I went, but we didn't go.
Had your chance. Should have
I know.
gone.
Well, I wasn't driving. Otherwise, we would have. So, anyway, okay. Can I take this off now? There we go.
Where did
We are stuck.
Uh-oh.
There we go. Yeah, I didn't realize that everything would still be on StreamYard, even though I'm on a different thing. So that's nice.
Yeah,
that is handy.
Good to know
Yeah,
for later down the road.
I actually used something similar when I was in Contact in the Desert. We were talking about the Perry Reese map, and I had done a section on that for Dave Scott's Spaced Out Radio show one time a couple years ago. And I still had the stuff on my phone. It's like, oh no, here I can explain it all to you. I had a little picture on my phone. It was I basically redid my whole segment from the show.
Oh, nice. Where did the couple see the UFO? Oh, I just had that up. Barney and Benny Hill? Betty. Barney and Betty
Hill. Benny Hill would be a very different outcome. It was Benny Hill.
Okay, you're gonna make me bring that back up.
That was in New Hampshire, I believe.
Hold on. I gotta bring it back up. What was the name of it? Was it under UFOs or
there's
aliens?
a good body language experts on the behavioral panel of a family that believed they got abducted by UFOs, and all of them said they're not telling a lie here. There's no deception in any of them. Matter of fact, they actually invited the family on the show. That's the first time ever they did that. They had debunked a lot of other crazy people, but and that's a pretty big thing for those four guys to say, yeah, I got nothing here. These guys are, they are all consistent, and you have four of them, not just one of them.
Yeah, they all have certain specific specialties, things that they concentrate on, and when you put all four of them together, you get a well-rounded. Those guys are really good. That's actually a pretty good YouTube channel. I've seen them before.
Well, like Scott's asked me to contact him, of course, because I want to. They're interested in having the right people. And I told him a few months ago. I said, "Don't just go and do a Bigfoot thing," which they did. And of course, it's just the cheesy Bigfoot documentary of the guy that looks like no one would believe, anyways. But I want to get him hooked into some really good guys to just show that these people aren't lying, so they do believe what they believe. So, and they're fair. I don't think they're not fair. I think they're pretty fair. I would go on with myself, and I would say that to them. Scott and you guys, do me first if you want. Because I would want to know. I would want to know my tells and all that kind of stuff. And I would understand. It would help me learn it even deeper from the inside out what they're looking at, even though I'm pretty much aware of what they're looking for when it comes to body language. And it's usually what's not there. That's what you're looking for. That should be there, not what's there that's appearing in front of your eyes, because that's the act of the cover up, right? So,
right. It is pretty interesting watching those shows. It's like, God, how many of those things do I do when I'm telling a tale?
Totally.
And of course, you never remember them correctly when you're watching somebody like, I watched that one show, so I'm an expert now too. Somebody's telling a tale, and you're like, he looked up and to the left. That means he's remembering facts and numbers. And he looked up and to the right. That means he's making it up, or whatever it is. I forget which one.
No. I know she just crossed your arms there, Enzo. Just as you said.
I'm being defensive.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Or you're
Don't
relaxed.
judge me.
You're totally relaxed. That's the thing is, people just go for the one pill approach instead of no. You need a whole Smarties or M&M approach, a whole bunch, the whole thing.
Yeah, because if you're talking to someone and they do this, that changes everything. They've gone from somebody that's gesticulating with their hands and things like that to telling a story, and then you're talking and it's like this. It's like you get the impression of like, I'm just waiting for my part. I'm just impatiently waiting for you to shut up so I can start talking again. That kind of thing. It's one of those things that us as humans, we do it subconsciously because we see it every day. We know the reaction. We can see, people doing the eye roll and things like that.
Oh my God, I'm so bad at the eye roll. I have to catch myself because I do that all the time. And it hurts people's feelings, when you do that.
Contempt. That's what. That's how a person interprets it, as contempt. If you have eye roll with your partner, you have a 90% chance of failing in your relationship. 90% chance, because it's contempt. And that the thing is, it's hard because there's a distrust that comes with contempt. You can't trust your partner. Right. It takes a long time for them to do enough behaviors to help you that distrust, whatever the area happened to be where you got felt betrayed by them. So, but that's the other thing too. I just get amazed watching body language especially with mothers who have lost their children. They've died or somebody's killed them or somebody's come in, and there's so many times where they do the covering of their face like that. And then they forced a tear out of the side of their face just for the camera, But you're not looking for their tear. You're looking for their nose should be all red, full of snot. This chin should be quivering.
Mm-hmm.
And listen for distant language. So, like if they're saying, if you name your child, what are you going to name your child? Well, that's a pretty important decision for parents. Takes you a while to figure out what would I like to name them. Then you look at them, you have a sensory perception of what you should be called. Nick, you think of your kids and why you chose those names for those kids. And if they pass on, you're not going to say they're like a distance thing, but little boy, my little man. You're not going to go there. You're going to go back to the original primal name you'd called them. And don't cry, Nikki. It's just examples. Don't get emotional. Stay objective.
Well, gentlemen, I have to stop you now because I gotta go.
I hear you.
Thanks. The pops has said I'm ready to go. So,
time to go.
What he says goes. But thank you for jumping on and having a little chit chat this morning. It was good to see Leon up.
It was good timing. I'm at 9, perfect. I get a chance to make coffee. I can come on. I have that great music you had on there. It's a beautiful day. La, 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 la. That right on. Popcorn Playhouse. Yeah, yay.
Oh, that's good. That's good. But we'll do it again sometime. Hopefully, I can get on Friday. We'll see what happens. You guys just have to be out there and watch out for what's going to happen because I don't even know. But if you can, can't even hear it. You hear it a little bit?
Thanks, Cindy, for your care.
Buddy. I really need to go now, folks. I love you guys.
Bye.
I love you
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye. Outro.
It's a good day.